time. At this time, I can re-emphasize, there will be no mass evacuations called because while we always say run from water, hide from wind, when we say that, we mean storm surge, not rain. So in this case, we'll have a lot of water, but it's not the kind of water that we would ask people to evacuate from. There are a few municipalities along the bay that have called for voluntary evacuations simply because of the small storm surge that is coming in and the high tide. But in that case, if you live in one of those municipalities, we ask you to pay attention to your local officials, which is what we ask people to do for us. The other issue that has come up, there's been a question of fuel supplies. There are some stations that are out of fuel, but there is fuel throughout the area, and it will continue to be available. But as I've reminded a couple of people, the special efforts for the state to deliver fuel to an area goes to those areas that are being asked to evacuate so that people can evacuate. We're not one of those areas. We are still dealing with a major rain event, and we've dealt with those in the past. We don't know which watersheds might overflow. We don't know which neighborhoods might flood. But from the county point of view, we are geared up and ready to go. We will be here 24/7 until the storm passes and until the danger is passed, because our job, frankly, is to keep the community safe. We appreciate all the partnerships we have, not only the city of Houston, Mayor, all the municipalities, the surrounding counties. We've had great help from our congressional delegation. Well, see, when you're introducing Al Green, you think congregation. So, preacher Al Green, Congressman, glad you're here. Metro, glad to see Karen Patman, the chair's here. I saw Chief Lambert back here. I'm not going to try and introduce all the dignitaries. I think the mayor's going to introduce some of his, but those are the points that I wanted to make. I'd like to turn it over at this time to my good friend and colleague, Mayor Sylvester Turner. Mayor?
Thank you, Judge, and it's certainly been a pleasure to work with Judge, not just this time, but over the last 21 months. There's no one who's more experienced and capable of dealing with incidents of this kind, major storm events, hurricane, than County Judge Ed Emmett. So thank you for your leadership. It makes it much easier to address these sort of situations. Pleased to have with me today, there are several members of City Council. Councilmember Mike Knox is here, Councilmember Jack Christie, Councilmember Amanda Edwards are the ones who are here. I know they're Superintendent Carranza, Major Steve, good to see you, and I know there are board members here as well. And so thank you all. And let me just tell you, I certainly appreciate the efforts of the first responders for the City of Houston, Chief Acevedo. Thank you so much, very much, HPD. Chief Pena, thank you. And certainly, County Sheriff Gonzalez. Let me just say, this is a large community, but we're speaking, makes different voices, but the same message. I echo every single thing County Judge Ed Emmett had to say. For the City of Houston, tonight we're going to be operating with essential personnel only, and that would be the case from now until Sunday night. And then we'll constantly evaluate things as we proceed through the weekend. The weekend municipal courts will be closed. Okay, the park events scheduled for this weekend are canceled. The library will be closed. BARC will be closed with the exception for emergency purposes. We want people to be alert, prepared, informed, on guard, stocked up, patient, sheltered, calm, and ready. And want to thank the people in the community for taking the necessary steps to be prepared. Chaos and panic, are our enemies, and we all know that. Over the next few days, as the judge has said, it's now a hurricane not hitting us. And then will be a tropical storm and no telling where it will go. And that's why I think it's so important for us to pay special attention. We are expecting a lot of rain. This is a rainmaker. Not going to get too much of the wind. We'll be on the edge of that. But this is a rainmaker. And there are different reports, anywhere from some say 15 to 25, some say 20 to 30. We simply do not know. We're going to hope and pray for the best. But let's assume that there will be a lot of rain. The bayous, the water could come out of the bayous and just overpower our capabilities. And so in that case, we are ready to step in. All of the high water vehicle vessels, for example, are positioned and ready to go to evacuate people if need be. I certainly want to thank. We've already been working with the Red Cross. I've identified about 56 different possible locations for shelter already. The faith-based community has stepped up. Way more than about 30 churches have made themselves available, so I certainly want to appreciate the faith-based community. So we're going to do our part. And then what I would say to you, over the weekend, and as we progress into the weekend, especially Saturday evening, Sunday, Monday, just stay off the roads. I think that's the best thing. Just stay off the roads. And if you just have to be out on the road, I think we all know that there are certain streets and intersections that are prone to flood, So, be very cautious, turn around, don't drown. But the best thing was just to stock up on some food and some games. You got kids, stay at home. Lastly, what I would say, especially for our senior citizens and the disabled community and low-income individuals. For our senior citizens, this is a time for us to be neighborly. Check on our senior citizens. We don't want people to be in their homes by themselves, and if areas to start the flood, then they're fending for themselves. So check on our senior citizens. Let's be neighborly. Same thing with the disabled community. The Mayor's Office on Disability is already having stakeholder calls with that community, but let's be sensitive to them. I want to appreciate and thank the HOT teams and the police department for already reaching out to our homeless population to provide them with shelter. We're trying to encourage them to come off the street, and so we're going to continue to reach out there. And then please don't hesitate to use 211 or 311 or 911 for an emergency. And lastly, I will simply say, like Judge Emmett indicated, this is not an evacuation for our area, but just be safe. Heed the instructions. Don't get your news from Facebook. Get your news from credible media sources. Listen to the county judge. This is an excellent place, Transtar. I want to thank Dennis Dorsey with HEC for the work that their team that they are doing over there. But just be attentive, stay alert, but I mean, stay safe. And if you don't mind this coming from the mayor, never hurts to pray for those that are in the hurricane's way and for this city. We can't control Mother Nature. But prayer has a way of moving things. So let's just stay calm and let's stick together as a family. I certainly want to thank again the county for just being exceptional. Thank you, Judge, for your work and the rest of you. And I look forward to working with the congressional delegation, all of our partners. This is one time where I think we can demonstrate that we can all work together with mutual objectives, keeping people safe, and then let's prepare for after the storm to make sure everyone gets what they need. Thank you. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Mayor. Before we take questions,